Something I put together 3 or 4 years ago were the 7 one rental at a time rules. These are basically the rules that I believe you have to execute in order to make forward progress and ultimately achieve your goals. I want to share them one by one with Mr. Jason Pritchard and get his feedback, his thoughts, maybe tell me what's missing, what's wrong. I don't know. Let's see what happens. You
Let's
ready?
do it. Yep.
All right. So we'll go one by one. And again, these are one rental at a time rules. So buy and hold is obviously the target. So number one, focus. You have to establish a buy box. And again, a buy box is permission to focus and ignore. So many people lose it on step one. What do you think of number one?
Number one is huge because I don't know that I know another space like real estate investing where there's so many different shiny objects, right? And it's just very, very easy right now. Information is so accessible. So with technology and social media and YouTube right now, it's never been easier to get the information. But what comes with that is shiny object syndrome. And for somebody like me, that's like borderline ADD, where you're always kind of bouncing around when you know what I mean? It's very easy to lose that focus. So you've got to, you talk about buy box all the time. And I'm a big believer is figure out your market, figure out your buy box, then put blinders on and don't look up. Just do the work after that. Don't look up. And that's the fastest way to get to the outcome that you want.
Absolutely. And again, buy box, what people miss a lot of times, it's permission to ignore.
Yes.
The blinders. Yeah.
Saying no is just as important as say yes. Learning how to say no is a muscle that a lot of us need to build.
Absolutely. Number two, daily discipline. I want you looking at your buy box 20 minutes a day.
That's big because reps, you need reps, guys. With me and the people that I work with, we're constantly talking about getting repetition and getting practice in. And it's those daily reps that make you a better real estate investor. I'm a big proponent in real estate investing is simple, not easy. And once you realize like, okay, here's how we run comps. Here's how we estimate rehab costs. Here's how we project out all of our holding costs and our profit margin on a deal that we're going to fix and flip. The first time you do it, it may take you an hour. If you do it 100 times, now you compress that down into 20 minutes. You do it 1,000 times, you can do it in 5 minutes. But the only way that you guys will get there is by going in and doing the work every day. So reps are important.
All right. Number three. And again, folks, I actually have this on my website. I actually have this in my office, a big 3 by 4 foot, I don't know, poster. Number three, grow your network. Meet 2+ new people a week.
Guys, this is, even to this day, going on year 10, I have a standing meeting Monday afternoon to set the tone for my week where I go out actively and I reach out to somebody that's a high performer that I either have done business with in the past or I want to do business with in the future. And we sit down and I pay for lunch every single Monday. And even to this day, 9 or 10 years later, we still do some variation of that. So it goes to show you how important the power of proximity is, especially at the beginning. If you guys do not have a solid real estate network, go to meetup.com, search real estate events in your area and attend every single one of them. And that's the best way to start. You have to change the network that you're around.
Yeah. And the beauty of real estate is once you meet a couple of people, all you got to do is ask for referrals.
That's
Who
right.
else should I meet?
Yeah. Yeah.
Talking. Yeah. Number four, you have to learn what an average deal is first, right? Once you have a buy box you're looking at every day, your goal is to learn average. Then, and only then, can you figure out what a good or great deal is. Too many people come in and going, I'm going to find a great deal, find a great deal. You don't know what you don't even know what an average deal is yet. So change your focus. It's about understanding average first.
Yeah. And getting in the game, guys, you have to get off the sidelines and into the game. So even if the deal meets your minimum standards, I'm never a proponent of doing a deal where the numbers don't make sense. So we're never going to force something. But base hits are just as important as home runs and grand slams are. And your net, like, think about this. If you've never played baseball before, what's the likelihood that you're going to go step in the batter's box and the very first at bat, you're going to knock one out of the park? Very, very unlikely. And so what's probably much more realistic is that you're going to get a little, dinker base hit that just lands barely, but at least you're on base. And now you know what it's like to be in the game. And you have to get a taste for what that is. So then that way you understand what that looks and feels like. And then you can compare what maybe a home run deal is versus to one that you should be passing on. So learning what an average deal is important.
I love what you say about getting a taste, because that's number 5. Bad things will happen. Sorry, learn and move on.
Yep, that's it. And The experience at the beginning, guys, is way more important than the money. And so you have to be in love with the process and realize that money is just, the financial return is just one of the ancillary benefits that you get. What's much more valuable is the experience of taking something from start to finish, having the confidence to be able to do something like that. And then you realize you'll get into an average deal or even a bad deal that looked good on paper. And on the other side of it, you'll come out and you'll say, well, like, all right, I didn't die. I lost a little bit of money. It's not the end of the world, right? And now I know exactly what to look out for so I don't make the same mistake and fall into the same pitfall. So things are going to happen. Anybody that tells you they've been in a business for any extended a period amount of time and they've never lost money, I'd be very wary of a person like that, because you're eventually going to take a loss in this business. It's just bound to happen.
Absolutely. Number 6, it's a 5 to 10 year commitment. Get rich for sure, not quick.
That's right. There is no get rich quick in this business. Now, we were talking about this in the last video, the 10 years that I've spent going into this, right? It doesn't feel like 10 years, but it's been 10 calendar years, right? So it definitely doesn't have to feel like a slog as you're going through it, but it's not going to happen overnight. And if you look at a lot of like the traditional jobs or career paths that are put up on a pedestal when we were growing up, right? Doctors, lawyers, these things, right? That those things take 10 years before you even make $1. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like, if you keep things in perspective, it doesn't need to take a lifetime, but it's going to take a little while, guys. And nothing good happens very quickly. Fast money comes and goes very, very quickly, guys. So you have to be careful with that.
Yeah. So number 7, we've hit a couple of times, but I'll just close it out because these are the ORAT rules. Audit your personal network. Are they helping or hurting you? That's number 7.
It's a big one. It's a big one. Get rid of those negative friends. Be careful with the neutral ones and replace those relationships with people that are doing the things that you want to do, and magic will happen in your life.
I want to add one more thing on that, especially today's. If this wasn't true 20 years ago, at least it wasn't for me, but it is absolutely paramount today. You got to audit your social media. So people blame social media for lots of things. It is nothing but an algorithm.
The algorithm's just giving you what you want. That's it. Yeah. The algorithm says, okay, Jason keeps clicking on this, then I'm going to keep giving you that. And then that's it. And whether you realize, I love that, because the algorithm is literally just feeding you what you keep saying yes to. And that's it. So if you're getting a bunch of negativity and not anything, then that's your own fault. You have to
own
audit
it.
that.
That's on you.
That's right. Yeah.
I know this is kind of off the top of the head, but is anything that's kind of missing in the first 7 or something you might want to add as a bonus 8th, or any thoughts on that?
My bonus rule would be never stop looking for deals. And I know that can be built into some of these things, but everybody that I talk to that struggles, one of the common characteristics that I see is they're jumping all over the board, right? They look for deals one day, then they're studying creative finance the other day, then they're worried about contractors the next day, then they're worried about private money the other day. And they never, so it's a combination of a lot of things, getting focused. But for me, the reason, and one of the things that has set me apart and allowed me to have the success that I have, is coming from a sales background. I always knew the value of having a full pipeline. And so I never stopped filling my pipeline with opportunities. I didn't worry that we didn't have all the money to close it. I didn't worry that I didn't have the contractor, the bandwidth to do some stuff. I just knew that if I focused on finding good to great deals all the time, all the other stuff will work itself out. And that would be my bonus thing, is most people severely underestimate the amount of effort that they're putting into deals and what's actually required to have a full pipeline. And it's a lot of time, energy, and effort to get there. So never stop looking for deals.
No, I agree. I mean, that's such an important one. It does deserve its own call out or bonus. It's something that, again, I think you and I were naturally born, given our track record of enterprise sales. But yeah, I look for deals every day. And I want to be clear. There were times Olivia and I had no money. We kept looking for deals.
Yep.
There were times we locked up deals where I remember getting a car loan one time, right? We had free and clear car. We had a free and clear car. I went out and got a car loan on my car, like 18% interest to close on a deal. I borrowed from my 401k. I never ever stopped. It's amazing how creative you can get when you find a great deal. So yeah, definitely.
It's amazing what will happen when you're in a position where you have to make something happen, guys. And that's the thing. It's like most people are not in that, like never in that situation where it's like we have to, there is no alternative, right? We have to make this happen. And you would be amazed how resourceful you can get when you put yourself in that position. And there's a line between like getting reckless and doing everything, but most people are never even coming close to that
Never
line.
close,
You're overthinking everything. Yeah, you're just and you're finding excuses to get in the way of actually doing the work. And that's what most people's problem is, right? And that's where I think you and I share a common, we were never afraid to get in the trenches and roll our sleeves up and just do the work. And I think people are looking for reasons to not do that. So they insert, well, I don't have the money, so let me go find the money, instead of going and calling a bunch of agents and getting told no, or like what we do, calling sellers direct and getting beat up on the phones and doing the stuff that's required. So don't be that person, guys. Be in love with the process. Be be
enjoy
okay
the
with
journey.
doing the work, and then good.
Yeah,
that's right.
Enjoy. Jason, where can people find you?
Social media, Jason Pritchard. Just put my name into Instagram or Facebook, or you can go to my website, jasonpritchard.com. Lots of free tools and resources on there to help you get started with your journey.
Thank you, buddy. Appreciate you.